Hello students, today we will study about the biological classification, your chapter 2 of plus 1 NCERT book. This is the second chapter children and it tells that how the living is classified. The first classification actually was given by Aristotle. He has divided the whole living world into two categories, plants and animals, but the two kingdom classification that credit is given to Carlos Linnaeus. When Aristotle he categorized the animals and plants on the basis of the movement, the stable one as a plant and the moving one as an animal. And then further animal into two, that is with RBCs, without RBCs, that is in a meta and a meta. And further on. Therefore, he is considered as father of biology as well as father of zoology. Two kingdom classification was given by Linnaeus, Carlos Linnaeus, and he divided the whole living world into two categories. But there are number of objections as he failed to go for the proper categorization. He mixed photosynthetic with non-photosynthetic, that is algae, fungi kept together because everything comes in plant, both of them. Then there was no distinguish between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, both of them were kept together. Then that is the third one is unicellular and multicellular organisms again kept together. So therefore, there was no proper division between the organisms. Therefore, we use the term it was found inadequate. Lots of modifications required, lots of correction requires. Then further 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, and finally 5 kingdom was given by R.H. Whitaker on the basis of cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, mode of nutrition, etc. He divided the whole world into 5 kingdoms. You see, starting from Monera, then Protista, then fungi, plantae, and Animalia. In Monera, he kept all the prokaryotes, basically, that all the bacteria here, they are prokaryotes as they don't have the nuclear membrane. So therefore, they are prokaryotes. They have the cell wall, but the cell wall contains non-cellular substances like polysaccharides are there and along with certain amino acids. Except Monera, rest all were eukaryotes, means true nucleus, nuclear membrane present, well-defined nucleus was there. Then what happened? If you compare the cell wall, Protista, they may have, they may not have, but varieties of combinations of the chemicals are there. Fungi, strictly you will not observe the presence of cellulose in the fungi. You can see chitin, you can pronounce it chitin also. It is also a kind of tough polysaccharide. In plant, the characteristic feature is presence of cellulose, and in animals there is no such characters present. If you compare the nuclear membrane is never present in prokaryotes. Therefore, I told you in the beginning only they are prokaryotes. Rest all are eukaryotes. It means they have the nuclear membrane. Now, coming to the body organization, you know that living is made up of cell. Suppose if one cell is there, then it is a cellular, one cell or many cells. Cellular organization. When the cell combines together to form a unit, then they are tissues. Group of cells makes a tissue. Then group of tissues makes an organ. Then group of organs makes organ system. And further organ system makes an individual. So therefore what happened? In the beginning, there was only cellular level. No coordination between the cell. But finally what happened? Protista again. Cell is there, number of cells there, but no coordination between them. Here they are the unicellular. So there is no question of the coordination. But here we have number of cells, but they fail to show that coordination. Now coming to the next one is fungi. Fungi were multicellular except one fungi, that is the yeast. yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is the only one fungi which is actually unicellular. Rest all the fungi are multicellular. So they are present here. Tissue organization is also here. You see advanced phenomena we are getting. So tissues organization is also there, but the tissues, the coordination is loose. Then coming to the plant, we have a perfect tissue organization, and then group of tissues, they start showing the organ level also. And finally animals, they go till the organ system. Now coming to the mode of nutrition, if you see mode of nutrition, nutrition may be autotrophic, may be heterotrophic. Autotrophic means that to prepare food by own. How the food is going to be prepared is maybe of two types, and that is either photosynthetic or chemical, that is chemosynthetic. So the monorins, they were autotrophic in both the two, that is the chemosynthetic and photosynthetic, as well as some of them were heterotrophic, and in this number of varieties are there, but the two main common is saprophytes, means feeding on dead and decay that substances, and another one is parasite, that is some host, some other living organism body is required and the parasite lives there. But if you come to the protista, they are that is autotrophic, but only one category, that is photosynthetic. They are not chemosynthetic. They are only photosynthetic, as well as some of them are heterotrophs. Coming to fungi, strictly they are heterotrophs, means never they will be photosynthetic. So in heterotroph, they would like to go for saprophytic as well as parasitic mode of life, that is mode of nutrition. Coming to the plants, plants are photosynthetic, so autotrophic nutrition is there through the photosynthesis process. But exception is there, children. Some of the plants are carnivorous, that is the exception. They go for the photosynthesis, but partial photosynthesis, and they depend on eating insects in adverse condition also, or whenever if it is possible, then they go for that. Animal, heterotrophic, they can never prepare their own food by any means, so they depend on someone else, plants, other animals, they depend on them for their food. And here, holozoic, that is the intake of the food through the mouth. This is the unique property of the Animalia kingdom. So in this chapter, children, we will be studying all these kingdoms, 5 kingdoms, properly with their deep features. Woos has given 6 kingdom classification, in which he has taken out Archaebacteria, which is actually kept in Monera by the R.H. Whitaker. He has taken out that Archaebacteria as a first kingdom. So counting that, we get 6 kingdoms. Archaebacteria, then Monera, which contains only Eubacteria, according to 6 kingdom classification, right? But according to Whitaker, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria both are kept in Monera only. So in next module, we will be continuing with the other kingdoms starting from Monera. And this table is very important, children. So neat question also comes from this table.